afternoon. Thank you. I'm Scott Reed, president of the Music Academy, and I'm so pleased to welcome you to this very special masterclass by Mosier guest artist Thomas Hampson. There are so many incredible things I could say about Thomas Hampson. He's an American treasured baritone, an international opera star. Like the director of our voice program, Marilyn, Horne, he is one of the greatest ambassadors, not just for opera, but for song as well. And he is an absolutely amazing teacher and a champion for long-distance learning education. What is particularly special about Thomas Hampson is he really is one of our own here at the Music Academy. He attended the Music Academy in 1978 and 1979, studying with the voice program director at that time, Marcel Sanger. Of course, he went off to have an absolutely incredible career, which he still enjoys today. In 1994, Thomas Hampson was the first recipient of the Music Academy's Distinguished Alumni Award. So he's pretty special to us. I hope many of you were at his recital earlier this week. Yes, it was wonderful. And I wanted to mention, it was such a thoughtfully put together program with a dedicated section to Lotte Lehmann, to Marcel Sanger, to Marilyn, Horne, really the lineage of the incredible vocal legacy that we have here at the Music Academy, and he certainly is part of that legacy. Before I invite Tom out, I do want to thank the incredible foundation that allows us to bring these amazing artists to Santa Barbara, the Samuel B. and Margaret C. Mosier Foundation and Ed and Sue Birch. And also our vocal program masterclass series sponsors, Shirley and Seymour Lair. It is now my great pleasure to welcome to the stage Thomas Hampson.
We don't have much time, so there'll be no laughing and no applauding, okay? I'm going to get 5 students here. Thank you very much for inviting me to be here. It's a little less terrifying than it was the other night. I use that word not terribly lightly, but it's, you know, when you're a student here, one of the great things about this academy is, and this program, is that you're on. Rehearsal, performance, teaching, rehearsal, performance, teaching, some sleeping, rehearsal, performance, teaching. And that's the way it should be. The mixture of laboratory and public presence is the most important thing we can offer at this academy. And I say we because I've now joined more the ranks of you sitting there than necessarily just being up here. It is a great privilege to be back. As I said the other night, it was a formative time for me here. I wish you wouldn't say 78, 79. That sounds a little bit like a Beatles documentary, but oh Lord, Grateful Dead's more probably never mind. Today's masterclass is not only the wonderful foundations and the generous donors that make our lives possible here, but today, in fact, we're dedicating the class live on live stream, the Music Academy channel, to the Carol Frank Buck Foundation. I say that rather officially and with much gratitude, but in fact, Carol Buck is a very dear friend of mine from San Francisco, and I'm sorry she's not here, and all I can say is, hi Carol, we're glad you are here. We hear you're online, so I hope you enjoy what you've made possible. If I may, you know, there's nothing probably more artificial, and I can already see Marilyn shaking her head. There's probably nothing more artificial than a master class. The point of a master class, I think, is a slightly heightened atmosphere in which a young artist comes out and is trying things that they're working on. They might even be trying something today that they've had to actually start working a different way over the last couple of days. I mean, this is the laboratory part. I'm addressing you as a public for the last time right now because my time here is with my young colleagues. And that's what I'm here. I'm glad you can watch us work because it's fascinating, it's exciting, but in fact, I'm here for you. That's what we're going to do, and we're going to work. If I just may, for me, singing is, I've always said this, for me, singing is a state of being. It's not something I do. And I actually mean that quite literally. I think that I see three elements that almost as a kind of a holograph, if you will, about singing. One is sort of in anything we sing, there's this spiritual essence of what it is. Whoosh, it's about that. Then we tighten that eternal triangle, if you will, in a context. Could even be emotional context, certainly language, style, happenings, shoes, costumes, poetic language, all that stuff of detail. Then we have the other side of this triangle, and it's the physical. And you can be the most wonderfully enlightened person in the Schubert repertoire, and you know exactly what he ate for breakfast the day he wrote El König, but you can't stand up straight. What difference does it make? Or you stand up so beautifully, and your voice is the right timbre and the right essence, and it's so beautiful to listen to, and you haven't got a clue what actually went in to make that thing happen. Then we have to work on that too. And as the old saying goes, the chain is only as strong as its weakest link. Those three elements are in play, quite frankly, every breath we take. And you will hear me say once now, and by the end at least 75 times, hear it, breathe into that, and make that, and only that, audible. That's the only similarity to speaking that we have in singing. But that is probably one of the most important, essential things that I can give you today, is we're now at this moment doing this piece of music. And everything you've experienced in all of your life, up to right now, goes into that moment. And in 10 years, it'll be that many more moments that'll go into that moment. Discipline for me is not a question of getting into something or doing something or I've got to stay. Discipline is a very simple equation, folks. Discipline is ordering of the random. It's getting rid of anything that is not essential to that purpose that you have in front of you. Which may be the song you're singing, or the air you're singing, or the moment it could also be the school you're going to, it could be the relationship you're in. Whatever it is, as an artist, you must have a phenomenal sense of awareness of what is not participating to that moment that is you. All right? Pretty easy stuff. So those kind of things are what I'm listening to as you come up. Let's get started with some wonderful music. We're going to, I believe, have a Charles Ives song, but I will let you, in fact, please, when you come up, introduce yourself, introduce your pianist, and introduce what you will sing. It's a very good practice for all of the Rotary Club luncheons you're going to sing to and coming up. So. Hello.
Hello, my name is Andrew Dwan, and this is Ho Lee, and we will be starting with The Children's Hour by Charles Ives.
In the
chamber above me, the patter of little feet, the sound of a door that is opened, and voices soft and sweet. By my study I see the lamplight descending the broad house stair, grave, descend laughing Allegra, and Edith with golden hair.
Great, lovely. Do you know Norman Rockwell paintings? Do you know who Norman Rockwell is?
I know the name, excuse me.
Right. Lesson number 1. Folks, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of images of great art are now available on your iPad, iPhone, mobile device of choice, computer, screen. You know, it wasn't in my time. It wasn't in their time. But it is now, right? Look at pictures. I mean, it's just you can't know the world of Ives without knowing the world of Norman Rockwell, especially in his songs that are essentially postcards from his life, like this one. Who are Allegra and Edith?
Our children.
Excuse me?
My children.
Their children.
My children.
Ives' children.
Yeah.
Well, actually, one is Ives' child, and the other one is a friend who came to play a lot, right? And I think that's really important because, to me, the atmosphere of this song is that. Do you have children?
I do not.
So that working on Traviata with Toscanini and Robert Merrill, in which Toscanini asked Robert Merrill whether he had children. He said, Maestro, I'm not even married. He said, well, you're going to have children first. Right? There's something terribly knowing about this. I call Ives the chronicler of American life. You know, it's the scenes of childhood. And there's children's hour. And there's something wonderfully simple and extremely picturesque in this, and seen from a study. I can see Ives in my mind's eye doodling this Buddha ba di ba di ba di di ba da ba. There is a time in the di 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 do ba di da. You know, typically Ives just doodling, watching these kids play. Lord knows what he's thinking about them playing, or what it was like when he was that age, or, you know, my love, she's got a good friend, you know. There's something, and I think this, even though it's adagio sostenuto, with Ives songs I would be very careful trying to make them more of a musical treatise than their storytelling essence, right? Some of their songs are different than that, but Ives, we are in the middle of the most fantastic experiential kind of song you can have, right? And I think for me, I'm missing the propulsion through the story, right? And that part of that is because also, even though we want to sing parlando is cantando, but interrupted. We always sing ando. Sometimes most of the time it's cantando, or we interrupt it and call it parlando, because you should emulate speech. So don't be weak on this. Let every vowel go to every way. Between the dark and the daylight, right? Stay on the voice. Don't communicate the text, sing the text, right? And I think just a little simpler, keep your bow on the string. It feels like you're trying to give me too much on this song. Can we start it again? I think it's not a matter of tempo, it's a matter of flow. I've managed to write 4-bar phrases in one bar. Let's at least get 2 bars linked up, okay? Let's try again. To sing, it's really it's one way, because when you get very concentrated, we do this very often. Very often we let our bodies reflect what we think we're singing. And so if it's a soft, sentimental, we kind of, right? And so I said reflective, and you're seeing Ives at the table, and all of a sudden it's sort of, are they really playing? Are they watching something on telly they shouldn't? I don't think so. I would keep it in you. Right? And just stay, but more importantly, physically, as a singer, don't give away your architecture because you're designing a different house, right? Stay you who you are, right? Between the dark and the daylight. Wonder, right? But stay in you, don't sink, never sink, but especially if you want to sing something soft, stay on the string. Okay, let's try it again. I think it's not a tempo thing, it's a flow thing, right? Bravo. Good. Between the dark and the daylight, when the night is beginning to lower, comes a pause in the day's occupation. You know, it's wonderful. It's terrific. I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, I know it's adagio sostenuto, and I think I want to believe where he's going. My problem is that at this tempo, the declamation sounds artificial, and I know that that's not what you want to do. Let's just say that between the dark and the daylight, there comes a pause in life's occupations. It's known as children's hour, right? That's the kind of, and it's more of a doodle on a pad than, in the pause of days, it's not one of those, right? I think that naturalness is what we need. I like you staying on the voice like this, but now let's even up. You don't have to work so much. Love the words in your teeth and your lips. You want the lift here, but you want the focus of articulation here. You want it like an inverted megaphone, like this, right? Sing the cheekbones, takes care of it, right? One more time, let's just up a notch, just a notch, so the declamation is natural. Yeah, but here. Between the dark and the daylight. Good. Trey, now just do one more time. We'll start right at the song, and just let all of the vowels have their commonality. In other words, it's not between the dark and the right? Good. They all have some interlapping resonance of themselves. We'll get more to that later, but go ahead. Just maybe a half bar. enjoy the text.
Comes a pause in the day's occupations that is known as children's hour.
Now, I have a question for you. Regardless of it being the higher pitch, is that what you wanted to say in the sentence? That is known as children's hour? Or known as children's hour? Why did he write known as children's hour? If you wondered why it wasn't known as children's hour, you know, I'm asking you seriously.
I feel like it's just a cherishing of, yes, these are lovely times that I've spent.
Got it? I get all that. My point is really I can't answer that. It's not a right or wrong question, but it is something you have to decide. You have to decide how this song is deceivingly simple, and yet being simple is sometimes the most difficult thing. We're getting there. First of all, we were just dealing with, let's get the string on the bow, a bow on the string, and keep on that. We're fine with that. But what it can't be is artificial, right? So I don't want to tie you up in knots on that. And part of that is because I'm not sure whether you're singing the song or the song is singing you. That's not a bad thought for all of you. You know, if you're not really singing it, then it is singing you. And if you're concentrating on your timbre, it's singing you, right? Timbre is a means to an end, right? Technique is a means to an end. It's that simple. And the end is, are we sitting at the desk like Charles Ives watching these two kids play in the other room? And how deliciously innocent, how wonderfully absent they are and deserve to be from life's busy occupations that'll come, oh my God, soon enough. That kind of is how we should end this song. It is known as children's hour. Oh God, that we all could have a children's hour every day, right? I think that's where all this is going, right? Good string, good bow. I need to hear you think those lines. Tell me the story. Start wherever you'd like. Sorry? Now you know what you want to do. When he breathes, you'll know to play. Hear it, breathe into that, and make it audible exactly how you want it to be heard. Did it feel easier? Yeah. Sorry to distract you. Just wanted to give some positive feedback. Go on. Known as children's hour, I hear in the chamber above me the patter of little feet, the sound of a door that is opened, and voices soft. You know what? Try that once. It's wonderful. Try it. Stay on the voice. Keep it singing. Don't talk to us. Don't tell us. Don't CNN us. Right? Hear the patter of little feet. Close your eyes. Close your eyes and sing that section. I hear in the patter of little feet. Oh my God! They're playing hide and seek. Settle down.
I hear in the chamber above
Andrew,
me.
I know it's a small thing, but in fact, if I hear, that's spoken. I hear. I want the I hear to be in the same resonance. That's what I mean. Every vowel we sing has every other vowel in it. That's the principal difference between speaking and singing. Right? I hear is just text. You know what I mean? It's that subtle. One more time. As you take your breath into that, prepare the space that's going to resonate in before you sing it.
I hear in the chamber above me the patter of little feet, the sound of a door that is opened, and voices soft and sweet. From my study I see the lamplight descending the broad hall stair, grave, earnest, and laughing Allegra, and Edith with golden hair.
You know, Ives loads that seriously, right? Harmonies and rhythms and all that. Grave Alice and laughing Allegra, and Edith with the golden hair, right? I mean, there's a bit of tongue-in-cheek, isn't there? Right? So let him load it. You just stay. Just, you know. Do you have cousins? Nephews, nieces, that sort of thing? Isn't it amazing, even at 2.5 or 5, you can see where that's going? Yeah. It led my parents to heavily disciplined alcoholism, but right? That's what that section is. You know, Alice just always seems a little more serious than the rest of them. And Allegra just really can't stop laughing. She's just one of those kids. And the other one's just always, you know, they're just kids, right? So let the tongue-in-cheek be in the music. I wouldn't load it. First time we did it, there's quite a bit of, you know, grave Alice, and just have fun with it, right? Right? Go back a couple of phrases. Go back a phrase. What was it like when you closed your eyes?
I just focused on the words more than.
Did it feel better to you? I mean, in terms of just experiencing the poem?
Well, it's just different because I think when I was closing my eyes, I could really actually just be saying the poem and thinking about it rather than dropping myself into picturing.
Right.
All of that. So
Was it disturbing?
No.
Was there a vocalism, a feeling differently in how you sang it when you did that?
Felt more focused and more descriptive with my words.
And is that a good thing?
It's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Yeah.
It sounds good.
Yeah.
Right.
That's absolutely something I should be incorporating more of.
Good. Well, close your eyes whenever you'd like. Study I see in the lamplight descending the broad hall stair.
I'm sorry, what is
Yeah, jumping around is not fair. It's trickier than you think, this little song. It's a lot of sort of, it's one of these. Oh, you can do that.
skill. From my study.
Hear it. Bring us there.
From my study I see.
From my study I read the newspaper and read that the English have left the Union of, you know. From my old mein Hall, from my study, Madamina, il catalogo. It's all the same thing. Bow on the string. From my study I see in the lamplight.
From my study I see in the lamplight, descending the broad stair, grave Alice and laughing Allegra, and Edith with golden hair.
Tempo primo. Yeah, this, be careful, because if you do that, it becomes sentimental. And if it's sentimental, it's irrelevant. Don't, oh, it's about this, ladies and gentlemen. You don't do that. You don't need to do that. Just stay there. Be just on ice, just completely kind of a wonder of the moment, right? If you get into it, as it were, laden it, right? It's going to make us feel like we have to think about it the way you do. And you don't want to do that, especially a reprise kind of thing like this. Very simple. You know, after all this pseudo-drama, that we've just been through, and up the study and down the stairs and around the block and off to grandmother's house we go and all that stuff, and the golden hair. It's all just about the simple moment called children's hour. And be careful, guys, that the purit at the end is only because of the word children's hour. Don't set me up with a great musical, ladies and gentlemen, that was a children's hour. Right, can you start with it? Alice and laughing allegra. Grave Alice. Sorry.
Grave Alice and laughing allegra, and Edith with golden hair. Between the dark and daylight comes a pause that is known as children's hour.
Okay, work there. Good, good. It's actually doing less is more sometimes, right? And the more visually you have this idea. Can I just hear part? Let's just do the melody bit of "Oh, do mine harder." I would love to hear that. Or is there? We can't do all of it. So what would you like to do?
Probably just the aria.
Just the aria bit, right? Chicken. Shyness too, all the Been there, done that.
We can do that if you really like.
No. No, there's a purpose. I want to hear that. Let's hear the melody. Jum, 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 jum. It's terrific. Your life will be simpler if you really trust what I just have said about in the song, and it's actually even more apparent here. The fundamental difference between singing and speaking is that when we speak, we separate vowels with consonants. What consonant at what speed determines the language. And ahs and ahs and ohs and ohs and e's and e's and a's and a, right? In singing, every vowel we sing vibrates the place in the same place and has every other vowel in it. And we bind those vowels, hence the word legare, legato. We bind those vowels with consonants. And we do it in such a way that emulates the language that it is. Singing and speaking are not the same thing. Different sides of your brain, different brain waves, born of the same root, but manifest themselves in another presence of your execution, your articulation, your expression, right? So trust that. So what you want is, that's where you're going. That musical language is the essence of Wolfram's longing for Elizabeth, which he has now in her death made that star his guide for the rest of his life. Right? It's a phenomenal moment as you're studying this aria, in that it was quite a tectonic shift actually in the literature of the 19th century, in that one decided what natural metaphor one would use. They didn't use the book. There was a whole list of things that this meant that, and that meant this, and nightingales meant all that kind of stuff. And all of a sudden, here comes Wagner, and actually started with Heine, and they said, no. The personal freedom of expression says, I choose that star, that tree, that river to say what I feel. This is the birth of individualism, birth of democracy. How classical music ever got the reputation of being elitist is beyond me. There is no greater evidence of self-determination born of the great revolutions of 18th century and 19th century than the canon of classical music and self-determination and expression. Well thought out, meaningful, these sounds mean this. This text says who I am. That's elitist. If that's elitist, then I'm an ant. You know, it's crazy. And this is what we need to hear. That flow is what we want to hear. That's where I'm going with. That's the background. Now, architecturally, if you just go from vowel to vowel, this thing's not going to bother you. And if you think the phrase already from the oh-do, you're actually going la da 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 ya da 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 oh-do. It's all one line. It's all elastic. It's not layers that you're going to go through. You'd be more comfortable. I know you're still working on this thing and you're kind of going, oh, I don't know about this, right? Wonderful, wonderful sound, wonderful color for this, right? Stay in it. Do one more time. 2 bars. You know, this is so awful. It's one of the worst arias to have to audition with as well. There is absolutely no way you can play on the piano the way one hears it in the orchestra. And there's no possible way that you can, if you've done all this stuff, that you can actually be completely true to Wagner's slow tempos and all that kind of stuff. It is about motion, and you just have to do that. So I can feel you fighting that. You say, oh, no, it's going too fast. No, just let it roll. And this is truly 4 bar on 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 4 bar. In this kind of music, there's never any phrase that's less than 4 bars. So, right? Rum, rum, rum. Rum, rum, rum. Now, I've got some of the best news I could give you all day for this aria. Where is Elizabeth? She's the star. So that means you get to look at the star. I don't care who's down here. It's Elizabeth. Right? And all you want to do is, if you possibly could, is just be literally transcended to that place. I don't know any better way to tell you how to sing than that. Anchor, because that's unfortunately you're stuck on earth, but everything else in you is lively and up, right? It's not oh do, it's oh do mine ho, right? Keep the wonder in it. It'll be much more comfortable. This thing is written for you. It's fantastic. You're going to love this. It's one more time, 2 measures. Keep the feeling of inhaling. Phrase, only concentrate physically on the sensation of inhaling. Do not feel like you have a phrase to sing. Keep yourself up and in the saddle. Right? Go on. It literally starts with your breath. If you take a breath and move forward, you're already pushing that phrase. Stay in you. Stay here. Stay. You're very strong here. It's wonderful. Keep lively here. Wenn sie entschweren. Right? Woo! Release. Yeah, that'd be good. Damn good start. It's a damn good start. Damn good. Next. How are you? Good, good. Are we going to have a page turner? Can I trade chairs? This chair has had more teacher moments than. So, who are you? What are you going to sing? And
hello, my name is Ben Lowe, and this is Nathaniel Nasa, and I will be singing Du bist wie eine Blume by Robert Schumann.
By the way, Andrew, where are you? Has he left in utter depression? When you see him, the next thing he needs to do is sit with your wonderful German vocal coach and clean up the language, because it will take care of so much of that stuff that you want in the legato. Binding the vowels. We sing all of the consonants. Some of them we sing dryly, some of these sing we wetly, but we sing them all. Right? Thank you very much. Du bist wie eine Blume. Is this a happy song or a sad song?
It's a happy song.
You think?
Just a little bit.
The essence of it when it's over is a positive feeling.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Let's discuss that. What does the word Wehmut mean?
Melancholy.
Yeah, we translate it as melancholy. It's a wonderful German word because the word Weh means pain. And the word Mut means courage. Pain courage. The smiling through tears. Does she come to him after hearing this song?
No,
Why?
because it's unrequited.
So why is that happy?
To be in love is still a wonderful thing, even if it stinks.
Better to be in unrequited love than no love at all?
That's right.
I beg to differ. Look, there is the answer to pain, happy or sad, is jein or naja or whatever. Du bist wie eine Blume, so hold und schön und rein. Ich schau dich an und Wehmut schleicht mir ins Herz hinein. Why? Why? If he's in love and it's so wonderful, and whether it's a he or she or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Why Wehmut schleicht mir ins Herz hinein? Und dann, mir ist, als ob ich die Hände aufs Haupt dir legen sollt. What does that mean? It seems to me, because of my Wehmut, my pain courage moment looking at you, that somehow I should put my hands on your head. What in the hell does that mean?
But then to say a prayer, praying to God that you will remain as fair and as beautiful and as pure as you are.
Good for you. Now we have this wonderful bookend, right? Hold und schön und rein und schön und hold, right?
Yeah.
But is it for her or for them?
I don't understand the question.
Does he want her to remain hold und schön und rein for them because that's the only way they can be together because she is rein und schön hold? Or he hopes, my God, I just hope that you can stay in this state of purity even though I know you're probably going to marry somebody else or something like that. Is that where we're going with this?
Yeah, the latter.
So it's almost self-sacrificing.
Yes.
This would make sense to Wehmut. Are you going to sing it differently now?
Yes, sir.
No, I wonder.
Yeah.
I mean, look, this is there is literally a 30-page dissertation by one of the most knowledgeable women I know in vocal literature and German literature, Susan Johans. And she devoted one, obviously, amnesiac night to an analysis of this song that is so breathtakingly complex and fascinating and wonderful. I called her and I said, who knew? She goes in, of course, to enormous depths of sexuality in this. We haven't even started with that one, right? The whole Blume, Lotus Blume, and right? Let's leave that to the side right now. But I just, this kind of information, maybe you don't have the luxury of hashing it out with somebody, but and I'm serious. It's not a rhetorical question. Does that inform you both to now going back and looking at this piece? Have you had this discussion with one another about this piece?
Not with each other, no.
With other people?
I've had it, yes.
Right. And you came to similar conclusions?
Yeah, I tend to think of, even though it is self-sacrificing, that sacrifice gives me pleasure.
Good, that keeps the nobility in what you're singing. I get that. I get that. Now, what can we do if we think that actually has this other side to it as well? What can we do in the singing that is not layering Schumann, but letting him, are there moments that could be more musically, in the musical language of this piece, thought of? Not to gild the lily, but that would make this tension more apparent?
Yes.
What do you think, Nathaniel? You see, in all of song, there's three people on stage. Left hand, right hand, singer. And the left hand, right hand got five, we got tributaries as well. So we got voicing issues, we got all this kind of stuff. And the miracle of a classic song, ladies and gentlemen, is that it is a very unique phenomenon of the world of art. Because it is two art forms that do not need one another at all. The language of music does not need words to be understood. And poetry does not need music to be poetry. And they choose to become a third art form, in which they are no longer their own identity. One could call it marriage, but that's a little simplistic to me. What I think it is these two art forms can only have a conversation in the world of metaphor. The metaphor of existence, the metaphor of experience, the metaphor of our imagination, the metaphor of our feelings. And I think very often we have to get into what the musical language is telling us and the echo of what's happening from what the text has inspired Schumann to say, oh, that's good. Oh, yeah, oh, I get that, right? And so we're always looking at that. I personally think that the whole prima la musica, poi le parole, and vice versa, is the wrong answer to a question that should not be asked. I don't believe in that at all. I never think that the music is more important than the word, or the word is more important than the music. They, in this context, cannot exist without one another. It's just not possible, right? This is what I think we can get to here. It's a long way around the room, but why not? That's what it's free. Why not? So what are we going to do? Is it the bass line? Is it the voicing of the right line? Is it bringing out the harmonic ambivalence in some of the places? I mean, he's done a lot of tone painting at particular words. Do we want to accent that? Is it one finger this? Is it the rhythm? Are we comfortable with that? Your legato is very beautiful. I would offer a couple of places we get to it. Do not be afraid of mixed vowels. They are your best friends. There is nothing more wonderful than to sing in a wonderful O. Oh, and sing an A through it. Oh, right? Or an ooh. Right? Wonderful stuff. It's exactly this. Every vowel has every other vowel in it, right? And you could have more lunch with that. Schön, schön. What is it? It is the essence of this song that will bring this ambivalence to fore. What is it?
Are you asking?
I am.
For me, the sense that it's so continuous at the beginning, the left hand sort of conveys the pulses, the right hand is filling out the harmony, but in Milhaud, the left hand gets a little bit more lift, and it sort of goes back into a kind of submerged texture. But what
is in all of you just said? What is the constant that we never lose?
Well, the 6 notes in the right hand.
The heartbeat.
Yes.
Right? And is that a static stasis heartbeat, or is it a impending, right?
Well, it's something that's sometimes in the fore and sometimes a little bit in the back, sometimes a little bit more.
But if you had to choose one or the other, what would you choose?
One or the other.
Fore or back?
Oh, definitely back.
But inevitably preparing the heart forward. Isn't there an anxiety in this?
Absolutely.
Isn't then the beat of the heart anxious?
Yes, but not at the beginning.
Why?
I don't know.
You think he comes to the Wehmut because he sung the first line?
Well, I only thought that because it's so often grounded by the downbeat being.
Good. Play it the other way. Let's start it again. Let's get to the music again. I think that the first line is not pleasant just because the words are pleasant. I think he's setting up a proposition. And I think we need to hear the agony in that. The agony is the wrong word. Why do you play that? Yum, bum, 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 yum, bum, bum, bum. That's not a heartbeat, unless you have a heart murmur. No, seriously. I'm sorry, Nathaniel. I'm not being flippant. It's one of these themes that is very, very often, guys, when we have stuff like this, it's already there. Do you choose to make it audible or not? It's already boom, 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 boom. We're just not hearing it yet in this harmonic language, this language of Schumann, but that boom, 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 boom is there. It's in the world we live in. It's zzz, and we're the antenna that goes, oh, let's listen to that version of it, right? So hear exactly how you want that to be before you start to play. Don't be musical. Right? Is it du bist wie eine Blume oder du bist wie eine Blume oder du bist wie eine Blume? What do you want to do? I can make a suggestion.
Yes, please.
And it really is a suggestion. Because we're going to this melisma of schön and rein, I rather like the idea of it, sweetheart, du bist wie eine Blume. Weißt du das, mein Schatz? Du bist es. So schön rein. Aber trotzdem, wenn ich dich anschaue, dann, you know, du. And also it gives us a little bit of this repulsion against this rhythm. You know, that was a beautiful beginning. Du, and when you get to the hold und schön und rein, I don't want you to gild the lily. I don't want to make more of it. I don't want to have a meal out of it. I don't want to schön. But just love each one of the words for exactly what they mean. And du, mein Schatz, du bist rein und schön, wahnsinnig. Such a beautiful person I have never seen or met in my life. And somehow in your purity and your beauty, there's something sanctified in your existence. But I have some bad news. Sorry. It was a beautiful beginning. And I love the time you took to hear what you're going to do before you do it. You do, right? Could we start again? Almost. Do it again. Nathaniel, do it again, do it again, do it again. Almost, almost. No, that's too fast. Quiet. Stop, think, hear, listen, breathe. It's already there. Make it audible. No, there's no, that's just notes. No, stop. Nathaniel, that's just notes. Don't be so quick. Don't be irritated with me. I'm not being a pain. I love you. I want you to do. But this is what I mean. It's all about everything we have for that simple boom, boom, boom. And the boom, the first boom you play, is inevitably going to be the second boom you play, and the third boom you play, and the third boom, 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 ba, 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 du bist wie eine Blume. And yeah, right? This tension of 2 on 3 is so miraculous. Forget that it's a sentence. Wonderful. When you gather yom, bom, 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 of course you could take. I don't mean to just march you through it, but all of them go to the next one. But be sure that I wouldn't hesitate so much on a Wehmut, schleicht. Hear the harmony. Just play those bars underneath him, especially the bass. Listen at the Ich schau dich an. schau dich an und Wehmut. Tut was, right? Go on through it. And by the way, that's a kind of parallel in the left hand to our cantando parlando thing. You know, he could have written solid notes, and on the pianos he was composing, it's quite curious that he didn't. That he would give staccato and separate it is not vertical, it's horizontal. So she would just sing it, und rein. Verstehst du, mein Schatz? Is actually what he's saying, right? Du bist, mir ist. By the way, if you can actually plan that in your wonderful youth and vigor and beautiful sound and legato, to sing that phrase and don't slow down in one breath is extremely powerful. To the essence of Heine, not to the essence of Benlou. Yeah. Beautiful, okay? Let's go to Mir ist. Keep it going. To refresh your mind, it's very curious, because the gathering of momentum and the gathering of harmony, and there is a crescendo, but he writes piano to you. But whatever it is stronger than mir. Du bist mir ist, als ob ich die Hände. And it's not about, it's about feeding that energy, right? One more time. Sorry, Nathaniel, you're too smart. Play the piano like me. Hear it, wish that it were so. Pretzel up here? Isn't that fantastic? It's fantastic. The message is good, painful as it may be. Your will to sing, your imagination of sound is stronger than anybody can be in the 20s of what your body does. And that's why you have Fred and Marilyn and everybody else and all me coming up and doing these and these kind of things, right? Because this is the time where you get to go, oh yes, athleticism, an athletic aesthete, or something like that. What it never is letting yourself turn on. Guys, if you want more air and space and room and breath, if you're running out, I promise you, back up. Get on the spine, open up, right? There's something about running out of breath who says, well, actually, I meant to sing that phrase a bit longer. And what you really need to do is, you know, I'm going to take an extra breath here because I choose to. Right? We are far more preoccupied with breath. And I must tell you, you know, Lotte Lehmann, in the history of singers, especially leader singers, is one of the mini breathers, let's put it this way. And nobody cared. Why? Because every breath she took meant something quite special. And you could argue whether it would be better to sing that phrase longer without the breath. Who cares? Right? If you need a breath, take it. If you don't need a breath, take it. But what is not an option is that. Or this, you know. Right? Stay in the saddle, right? And thank you for not touching the piano. Wonderful. Okay, back to Mir ist. Hear it. That was two legato, two songs. And we're back in, now we're just displaying vocalism. It was more beautiful before. Mir ist, als ob ich die Hände not a word. Dich erhalte, but it's all uppo. Dich erhalte, so rein und schön. Right? And it's all here. All right? There's nothing about this song. In fact, it's almost harmful that it's in a public arena. You're allowing them to hear this. And you couldn't care less whether they get it. You shouldn't care whether they get it. It is not your responsibility, by the way, whether they get it. It's only your responsibility that you get it. And you can lead a horse to water. Right? Right? There. Good for you. Yeah, it's fine. Now we know where you are. This is the world of Schumann, and Horne may have a different idea about this, but I like to take Schumann at his word, unless I don't. I mean, his retardants, and then, well, when are we not retarding? How do we get out of that? I think you can only take from the essence of the poem, right? Because I think that's where it's coming from. What it isn't is a preparation of the retardant and a lingering because it seems more musical, right? It's always essential. So I would, this retardant, this bar is tempo primo. Du bist wie ein betendes Gott dich, jam bam bam bam, it's almost what it's seen. Betendes Gott dich erhall, ja da di da, so rein und retardant. Was ist sie? Above all things, what is she? True. And that's not the good news. That makes her public. It makes her susceptible to every other bloke that wants her around. You know, she's not his. Yeah. That is the most important thing you have to keep in your mind when you sing this song. Right? She's not his, and probably never will be. But she's certainly not his. So schön und wenn es nur wäre. I firmly believe this, and it's not just because of Susan Jones. In fact, she doesn't really go that far. She's much more interested in the symbology of it. I just think the whole piece would be a completely different harmonic language if this was actually a positive love song. There is just such deep Wehmut in this piece of a, absolutely what you said, kind of wonderful hurt, you know? You're close. Why are we ready, people? So can we start right there? If the schön brings you to the idea that it's sanctified, it's holy, hold. Schön. Forgive me for this self-aggrandizing moment, darling. Und hold. Right? Yeah. One more time. It doesn't mean you stop the sound, and quite the opposite. That's the tough bit. It's, you know, the sound and it's still singing the ich, but it's the cantando part of the ando equation, right? Dort ich erhalt. It's not stopping any energy, right? What up? Or resonance.
Das Gott
ask you, you know, I get stuck on the vocalism of it, but is it Gott oder erhalte oder dich? Betend, dass Gott dich erhalte, betend, dass Gott dich erhalte, bete, dass Gott dich erhalte. So I don't care, but not all three and not one. Don't let the song sing you. I don't think it has to do with a high note.
Yeah.
That's a clue. It has to do with the German language. Verb at the end. At the river, we have exactly 3 seconds. Sing it exactly the same way, but this is a positive song.
Yes.
Good. You know, I think you should play that as if there was a kind of. You ever been to a revival meeting?
No.
Have you been around Pentecostals? Right? They get pretty excited about things. Right? Now, Copeland was neither. Right? But there's something euphoric in this fanfare. These songs were all piano songs that then he turned into orchestra songs. And even though the orchestra colors are quite imaginative, he meant them first, and he was talked into orchestrating them. He was actually talked into making the Copeland folk songs as we know, the American ensemble, by Benjamin Britten and Peter Pears. And the debut of these songs was in Alderbrough Festival. How about that? Talk about the subterranean folk messages. Wonderful. This has a, come children, into the water and be redeemed. That's what we have to hear. Oh, but it's still a prayer. Bow our heads. Don't cheat it. I know it's extremely aggravating when somebody snaps their fingers. It's very, very aggravating. It's a bad habit. However, stay in exactly the same tempo. Body shall be there at the river, where riding sweet.
Shall we gather by the river?
Good, wonderful. All vowels have every other vowel. Shall we gather at the river? Station break, ladies and gentlemen. No. This is what has to be. Let us have your generous sound in a piano. Good. Nice.
Shall we gather by the river, where bright angels feet have trod, with its crystal tide forever flowing by the
All right, we're hopelessly behind schedule. Actually, not hopelessly, just mildly. Let's go. Next. Who do we have? We have a wonderful Mr. Tian. How are you? It's a pleasure. Have we met before?
Yes.
In Milhaud School of Music. Exactly. I look forward. You sang Vision Fugitive.
No.
What did you sing?
My team.
You sang this? Oh! Well, let's see. Are you courageous? You feel good?
Yeah.
Shall we do the corn gold?
Yes.
Let's do a little corn gold and we'll do some lago.
No problem.
Okay? Okay? Good.
Hi everyone. My name is Xiaoming Tian, and this is my pianist, Marilyn. I would like to start with the 10th lead from Die Todstadt by Schoenberg.
Mein Sinnen, mein Weinen, es träumt sich zurück, ihm Tante gewann ich, verlor ich mein Glück, ihm Tante am Rhein beim Mondenschein gestalt mir's aus Blut ein inniger Blick, gestand mir's viel bietend Wort, bleib, o geh mir nicht fort, bewahre die Heimat, stilles Glück, mein Sinnen, mein Weinen, es träumt sich zurück.
Can we work? Let's work.
Yeah.
Let's work a little bit. I want to share with you and work with you, and I'm a little bit on the time, right? And what we need to work on the song is the rest of the song anyway. We can finish, okay? English is good?
Yes.
Yes? Because you were very new in Manhattan, no? Good for you. All right. Look, the first phrase, you must be very careful. This is really, I don't want to, if I tell you you're flat, that's not interesting. You're not flat. Your singing is flat. You wouldn't be here if you had ear problems, right? Intonation for a singer is very much air pressure. Usually when it's hovering on the lower part of the pitch, if not under it, it's muscle. And usually, if it's on the upper part of the pitch, if over the top of it, it's too much air, right? Whatever it is, it's not balanced. And because you're starting out of the blue with the ma, ma, two things are happening. You're not actually releasing in breath. You're going like a tube of toothpaste. Ma, I'm going to control this pitch because I got to go up here. Oh my God, this is uncomfortable. Right? That's the first one. That's the first, right? The other thing is I don't actually think you hear it before you breathe in. I think you go, I'm going to fix this up, rather than mein Sinnen. And the are in the same resonance. They're different vowels, but they live in the same house, right? It's not mein Sie, right? Okay? Hear it. Breathe into that, which you hear. By the way, I'm only quoting, well, many great teachers and singers, but right now it just rings in my head of Luciano Pavarotti. I mean, this guy, people ask him about this, I cannot sing what I don't hear. It was something like, what a stupid question, you idiot, which I'm sure it was a stupid question. But for us, it's huge information. It's so simple, but it's so true. Good. That's really not the right pitch. Right? Sing, and for one day, let it go. You get two fermatas, let her play up, let it go. Out of a silence, instead of ma, sing mo, without an end. Let her play it. Mo, sing o. Nice breath. Wait. Breathe in your nose. Forget the word. This is a vocalism. Mo, yo, yo. Mo, mo, yo, yo. You're going ma, mo, yo, yo. Mo, yo, yo. Same thing. Mo, yo, yo. Hear it? Don't copy me. Hear it. Hear it again. Woo! Okay, now, Charlie, what are you doing? You need to tell me, what are you doing to do this that is different? This is a very important moment. How are you singing different? What are you thinking of, other than just with me? What are you doing differently? Are you thinking higher? Are you thinking more air? Are you thinking more space? What do you tell me? You tell me what you're thinking.
I just think the vowels should be able to go similar.
Okay. The O and the A. Don't change position. I rather like that idea. And the position that I don't want you to change is the height, right? And it is slightly uncomfortable. I understand that, right? I understand all the Z and there's a closed E and A, but they're all in the same house of resonance. Very often, to understand how our resonance works, we of course work through the vowels, and we discover and this one of our teachers reinforced that the vibration, the height, and all that kind of stuff. But don't forget that the place that you're finding, which we call resonance, is regardless of what vowel is vibrating in that place. Your house of resonance is furnished with various vowels. If you wait to create the space every time you take a breath for that vowel, it's not going to work. and you're going to get tired, and it's inevitably going to fall into your throat. Our house of, I rather like Marcel Sanger's idea, and it's very good. Just take it for what it is and move on with it. It's one of it. Just the floor of your mouth is the floor of the vowel, i.e., the vowels grow in our heads. They grow in the feeling of the resonance in our heads, right? That's not a bad thing when you're getting stuck on something. It's not an end of all kind of message, but it's a pretty good one for right now. Ma, 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 ma. It's I'm in the house of Mo, yeah, and I'm choosing to sing ah in it, right? If you create the space because of ah, it'll be flat. It's a big moment. It's very important. Yes, keep the same place. One more time. Think ma, sing mo. Good. Down here and flexible up, right? But this has got other words. We're not a tube of toothpaste, folks. Right? Okay, it's better. Let's go on. Träumte sich zurück im Tanze. Go ahead. Träumte sich zurück. Yeah, but I hear a wonderful träumte sich zurück. That's spoken. Sing it. Yeah. In the zurück, you need more oo, and that will help you sing. You're too preoccupied with the rück, which is an unusual vowel, I'm sure you know, right? Sing oo. Think E through it. We'll be fine. Good. Hear it. Breathe into it. Just before you sing it. Gestand mir ihr beten. Just try it. Just try it. Gestand. And keep the verticality of the ah. Not that it goes flat. I know it's weird, but you'll see where I'm going. I won't let you follow. Ready? Gestand mir ihr beten. Get you to do is keep the spine straight. And you notice the first steps you want to go back, you put your arms out like, whoa, right? Right? And then we got a little bit where it actually took another step, and then when I did it with you, then all of a sudden, and then when you went forward, all of a sudden this happened, right? All I'm trying to do, the spine is the, this is my favorite part of a class. Just for the students, you'll see that. How many keys does a piano have? Wonderful. How many people knew that? We all, right? Right? Okay, here we go. Ready? How many ribs do you have? Exactly how many? Precisely how many? Who has the courage to raise their hand and say, I know? How many ribs do you exactly have? You raised your hand. Huh? 13. Is there a doctor in the house? Who knows exactly, that is a singer in this room, how many ribs we have and how they're built? Does anybody? Oh, wow. Isn't that bizarre? Are you all pianists? Please. We have 12 pairs, right? But they all have one thing that is individual. They all start singularly on their own path with their brother or sister from your spine around. Okay? Which means that all 12 pair, and I don't have time to get into it, but the first one's up here, you know, the collarbone, that would be your first one. And the last two are the so-called floating, which are there to protect your kidneys. You ever watched a boxing match? They get in with tuck, 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 tuck. They're doing two things. If they can break down the kidneys, they can weaken the diaphragm, which means you're out of breath. That's the anchor of your diaphragm. It's back here. That's why Fred keeps coming up and going like this. Get it open, folks. You know, the back part of the ribs, they're the ones that open. Do that. Wonderful. Right. Yeah, okay? We'll walk over again, we'll walk like this. So if we just keep the spine open, that's already half of the ribs saying, oh, okay, I get it. I'll do what I'm supposed to do. I'll be nice and firm up here, and I'll be nice and flexible down here. And all you have to think about is the tone that you want, and it'll do its business. But if you don't know that, it'll turn your body inside out to produce the sound that you made. That's what's going on with this pitch thing, right? And if we just keep the vowels vibrating in the same place on a long spine, so the rest of your body, that's at least more than half the battle, right? You cannot move backwards without falling on your behind if your spine weren't straight. The first couple steps were a little wonky, right? And then you got used to it. Did you notice what happened in your throat? Did you notice? I'm talking very fast, I apologize. Did you notice what happened to your singing as you were doing this? Did you?
Yeah, this was very
it was very balanced, it was open, right? What about the sound? Was it lighter? Did it feel lighter?
Freedom?
Freedom? It was richer for us. Sing small and light, sounds rich and dark. Oh, okay. Right? Go on. Zauber Fahrt. Sing. Zauber Fahrt. If when you start that, it's a tough phrase. If you would, the word Zauber has an U in it. Z-A-U-B-E. So, if the whole A vowel lived in the long space of the U by the beginning, we would have sa, fa, so, right? Exactly. This is what I mean by every vowel has every other vowel. So let's start that phrase with a long U. It's all in the U, right? Feed it, open up. Right? You can take a step backwards if you like. Yeah.
Raus und Not war
Exactly what you just did there. That's your cheekbone. Sing the cheekbone. Stay there. Take your next breath there. No. Sing in the sing more. Easy. Even higher. No largo. We're out of here. I gotta get out. They're gonna kill me. All right, they're gonna kill me. I don't know how. Someone said 25 minutes a person. That's not true. Johann Schramm Ried. Hi.
Good afternoon. My name is Johann Schramm Ried. Jiyoung Lee. Sorry. We're going to start with Whither Must I Wander from the Songs of Travel.
What you're going to do.
We're going to do and be done after that.
What happened?
Words.
Welcome to my world. Yes. But you know what? That introduction, now that we've stopped, let's just talk a minute, just briefly, about the language of music. You know, I can promise you that most composers, in fact, all great song composers, will tell you that they spend hours reciting the poem to themselves. Reading, reciting. Sometimes they write the poem down. That's where you get some of the anomalies and some of the prints, because they forgot actually exactly. And so we, very smart people 200 years later, said, well, actually, no, Heine wrote D, and he wrote E, whatever. But I mean, they just, where's this going? What is this going? Do we spend that kind of time with our text? Most of the time we learn a song, we learn the text kind of at the same time. But more importantly, the composer is going through all of this. Where am I going? What is this? What is this? And out of that comes his language, right? Or her language. As not just a compliment, but as a finish, as a conversation. This poem belongs in this. This, right? And so it's not ever this. It's not all da-da-dee-da-da-dee-bum-bum, whither high, right? What she says, you say. What you say, she says, right? It's a complete all the time. And it's two languages. We can't speak two languages at the same time, but we can inhabit the world of metaphor that they represent, right? So we have to have it. There's no note that's less important than the other ones, no chord. So we can be home. Breathe early, think it, and the song doesn't start, you know what I mean? It's just, there you go. That'll help you with words somewhat, but one more time. Andante, going, Robert Louis Stevenson, one of the great storytellers of all times. Tell me a story. Guys, I'm sorry. I know I'm just a pain in the ass. I'm sorry. I know. But there's three different thoughts, and I don't think so. I think it's one thought. And three different tempos. Just read. Home, no more home to me, whither that I wander. That's the payoff. Oh, he's wandering. I get it, right? But it's not, now I'm going to sing a very pensive song that I had walking in the woods, right? Come on, come on. Okay, that's good. I only have one question. You have a crescendo into Heather. Is the E flat, are you nervous at the E flat?
A little bit.
Why? Is it the pitch or the vowel?
The pitch, I think, more.
Really? But you're a baritone, right?
Bass baritone, but yeah.
How old are you?
27.
I don't know. I think whatever it is, I think there's a generosity on the Heather that you can enjoy.
Okay.
Oh, blows the winter wind over hill and hill. But it sounds like you're kind of you're not quite sure you're actually going to have to do that until the beginning.
I think
of
it's
that part.
the dynamic more that is scaring me than the actual pitch. It's the feeling the need to keep it.
Well, let's not get hung up on it, exactly, and I want to spend more time on it. Even though there's a crescendo to it,
right.
I think it's the generous of the walk.
Yeah.
And Heather doesn't live isolated. Heather lives in fields, Heather lives in bunches, and cold, and there's all sorts of. He's wandering. We've got temperature. We've got landscape, and all of that external stuff that he's sending up is because he wants to tell you what's going on in his heart.
Right.
Right? That's all I want to hear. Have a walk. Have a walkabout. Nice.
Come no home to me, whither must I wander? Hunger my driver, I go where I must. Cold blows the winter wind over hill. Thick drives the rain, and my roof is in the dust.
Slow down.
Loved by wise men was the shade of my roof tree. The true word of welcome was spoken in the dawn. Dear days of old, with the faces in the flood.
Okay, if you all the phrases, he's going to keep doing to you. Sorry, you're getting used to it. Right? But then those phrases have to already start in the resonance you're going to. It's not an elevator you take up to a new vista. It's just an elasticity, right? And so the phrase, and the more, again, trust me, the more, even in our language, in every language, every vowel has its resonance with every other vowel at the same time, right? So I'm having the whole phrase started with the top of every voice is that international phonetic alphabet. We call it the cowboy hat. But actually, it's the asp of a cathedral. And the dome is that. And that's the top of the voice. And it's a neutral, wonderful, resonating place. We think the vowel in it. I'm singing, I'm thinking, home, hill, home, right? Get in that house, right?
Yeah.
Don't create it with it. You get stuck. You've got it in spades. I don't know, bass, baritone, double bass, cello, whatever the hell, right? But the true wood, dear days of old, without it. Sing.
Okay.
You've got it. Hear it? Breathe into just that. Yeah, I have to stop. Do you hear that? Guys, do you hear that? You hear that? Dear. The most natural, organic state of a singing voice is with vibrato. For aesthetic, I hate the word stylistic, reasons, perhaps you will need to choose to take vibrato out. I say that with some pain, right? But in fact, the breathing, living organism of the voice is vibrato. But if you speak, it's not going to have it. Dear, dear. This was absolutely wonderful. I mean, it's worth the whole minute. Hear it? Lost tempo.
Okay.
Dear days of old and the faces of dear days of old. I need to give me the syntax of the poem.
Dear days of old, with the faces in the firelight, kind folks of old, you come again.
I want to tell you that all those phrases mean something if you don't sentimentalize them. Keep the tempo. Just tell us the story, right? Otherwise, it's sort of, oh, you get it, right? You don't have to do that. What is this one? Far, even easier. Firelight, firelight. I don't care how. It's the same mountain, folks. We all go up different glaciers, right? Get up there, right? Good. One more time. Dear days of old, with faces in the firelight, I'm folks of old, he comes from the land of Celts. Oh, I see. Right? Hear it?
The word?
Dear days of old, with the faces in the firelight, kind folks of old, you come again no Home was home then, my dear, full of kindly faces. Home was home then, my dear, lucky for the child. Fire and the windows bright, glittered on the moorland. Tuneful song built a palace in the wild. Now when they don't love the
That's the feeling we want, right? But two things I want to get. I know you guys are all working on this. It's fine, great, you know. But this arena is not where you get to do that. You get to do that in that room. Stand straight. I know what you're looking for, but you know, we don't want to know whether the tacos didn't work. You know what I mean? Right? If you need something, stand back on it. You'll feel better. But this thing's got this sort of, God, I'm glad to be alive. Smell the heather lass. Oh. Right? That's where we have to have that. And you have that kind of voice. I'm sorry, but this phrase, the E flats are not yours. This is just a wonderful elongation of your beautiful voice. All of you have such beautiful voices. I haven't heard one dud yet this week. It's fantastic. Unbelievable. Again, go on. Come on. Finish the song. Let's finish the song. No. Yeah, now when the day. You know, try something else. Go the other way. Rather than feeling like you guys got to get in here, actually stand up and elongate the elevator muscles, right? Think rectus abdominis, which is think of your body as an ooh, a big long ooh, like a 30-foot long organ pipe, right? And this, the front side of your ooh, which is your E vowel, is the rectus abdominis muscle, goes all the way down here and hooks up. And the back side of the ooh is your spine. Oh, that's a nice idea. And if you want more out of your body, just kind of tilt that pipe. There we go, right? It's the same thing. You're going to find the sensation by getting in the saddle, and I'm not. It's not one or the other. But you're going to want both. Okay. Right? Yeah. Only thing I want to correct is, love this. Well, let's get over it. Okay. Let's loosen this. We don't want to box this up, like this. There we go. Can I just look at one thing? Oh, we're over here somewhere. Now when the day dawns on the brow of the moorland.
Now when day dawns on the brow of the moorland, lone stands the house with a chimney stone is cold. Long let it stand with the window cold.
It's good. You're in a good space though. Look with it, right? What I don't want you to do is start landing on it, right? And when you go down in the phrase, think up. Okay. More, oh. Don't rebuild yourself every time. Check the words. Lone, let it stand. I'll throw them to you. Come on. Let's finish the song. Now when the day dawns on the brow.
Lone, let it stand with the friends all departed, or the
Lone, let it stand, all the friends all departed.
Long let it stand, now the friends are all departed. The kind hearts that love the place of home. Spring shall come again, calling up the moorfowl. Spring shall bring the sun and rain, bring the bees and flowers. Red shall the heather bloom over hill and valley. The ever-flowing hours. Fair the day shine as it shone on my childhood. Fair shine the day on the house with open doors.
Oh my God.
Birds come and cry there and twitter in the chimney.
Yeah. If you change the tempo that much and get that sentimental, you'll have that trouble.
Gotcha.
You don't have to do that.
Okay.
The readout is only on her bit. Ya-da-dee-da. In folk poetry, or poetry that is based on folk themes like this, one of the miracles of anything about a bird is a bird carries messages from home. And birds that you find in another land that are the same as where you came from make you less a stranger in where you've arrived. Birds are an amazing symbol that you must personalize for yourself. What bird is that? And I think, because you could hear, birds come and cry there and twitter in the... And you can give yourself a, birds come and cry there and twitter in the chimney. Get on through it.
Okay.
The chimney is a nice image. Let it be in the chimney.
Okay.
Can we go back to feather day shyness? No, he's given the measure before. Ah, dee da dee da.
Feather shine as it shone on my childhood. Fair shine the day on us with birds come and cry there, and twitter in the chimney.
Ah, chimney. Same resonance.
Okay.
Yeah, same, all the same place. Just let it change the vowel, but not the room.
Right.
Oh, you have to do it one more time. Sorry. Here comes the ritornando. Yana. Wherever you can in this piece, accentuate this open fifth snap. Do. That's the heather of the Scottish land that you're walking through here. Oh, it's fantastic. So then do.
Birds come and cry there, and twitter in the chimney.
Yeah.
But I go forever and come again no more.
Two things. That is the only time you get a moto rallantando. Not ritardando.
Right.
Rallantando. Because that's the melancholy. That's the, as far as I wander, it'll never be where I really want to end up. Right? And no more. Just do the last phrase. But you're just on that chimney.
Oh, from chimney? Or
No, you just start a knee.
But I go forever.
Sorry, now you know where you are. Now you know where you are. Oh, do the birds again. It was quite wonderful.
Birds come and cry.
Hear it? Hear the whole phrase. Breathe into that sentence. Do you analyze yourselves before you speak? You take a breath, and if it's pillow talk, it's a soft, quick breath, and it just has that in it, and it's sort of, could you believe what an aggravating pain in the ass Hampson was today? And somebody says, what did you say? I said he's a complete pain. You don't think about your breath, right? So why do you do it when we sing? Breathe into what you're going to say.
Okay.
Breath for a singer is not gasoline. It's not yet heard thought in a language called music.
Birds come and cry there, and return in the chimney. But I go forever and come again no more.
It's quite beautiful, quite wonderful, and this time, actually, I'd like to know more what that means to you.
Okay, sure.
I don't want you to be sentimental, but I want to hear this emptiness, that all of this gorgeous melody and wandering and everything has somehow left. Come again no more. I need to believe that. One more time.
Birds come and cry and return in the chimney, but I go forever and come again no more.
This way we can walk with you. Well done. I think it is 5:15. I think I've overstayed my welcome. I'm very sorry because we were going to have one last alternative, but I guess I'll just have to come back. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you, Carol, for making it possible. Have a great life.